This week at Morning Glory Motorsports, from one red car to the next. So we are on to the next project. I don't know what years this is, 88, 90, doesn't matter. You know, we go 20 years into the past for another red Mustang. This is the car I drive. Keith at Wonder Racing owns it. I've been driving it since, I don't know. I've been driving it since 2021, I think. I'll probably put some videos here or something.
But 650, 6'5", 189 for Dom DiDonato. All right, so here you go. Eric Hendricks, the 1990 Mustang, 330 cubic inch turbocharged entry out there in the left-hand lane, the red Mustang. All right, out front in the left lane, 652 and 209. I was expecting a 7.
Building the boost, all of it. Struck the tire, barely had to get out of it. Right side, 434.
Line's going to be down. Clean and green, both sides of the racetrack. Top end here, Owlette. Finish line, going to be a 658.9 212.
It is a 5.4 liter mod motor. Single 98 millimeter turbo from Bullseye. They help us out quite a bit. Great turbos, love them. So basically, I have a couple weeks until Yellow Bullet. And I pretty much have to do everything that I did to the last car. So we'll see how this goes. So I already have done a couple things to this car. It was here before the other red one, and I kind of moved it aside to get him in. So let me show you a little bit about it. It has a 15 by 14. That is a 275 on it. It's kind of what ride height's going to be. I've cut everything out in the back. It has a single parachute. We're putting 2 of them on it. I built the rear end. I don't know if you've noticed the jig underneath my table up there, but I built that rear end from scratch using Funkhauser race car parts. Beautiful stuff from him. Well, much like the other car, there is no Firewall left, huh? This one's also getting the double frame rail. It's already got I put the same 4-link in it already, and reusing the wishbone, reusing the anti-roll bar. It had a stock floor in it with kind of like in these bars. Cut that all out. Had stock frame rails back here with the stock. Had stock rear suspension too. Cut that all out. Now it's 4-linked. Cut the stock Firewall out. And I'm gonna cut these frame rails back, much like the other one over there. And new mid plate. That'll be tied into the Firewall just like, well, the mid plate won't be, but the mid plate bar will be tied in the Firewall just like the last one too. The only thing, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to the strut cups. It has the same strut cups as the last one, but I'm gonna try. So here is that axle I built. It is a floater, just like the last one. 9-inch. This car is a lot like the last one. 400, mid-plate, mod motor. This is just the mock-up engine. As you can maybe tell, it's missing some stuff. I don't remember if that was me or Keith. We've blown up a lot. So I'm gonna try and get all of this done before Yellow Bullet, which is these dates. Not far away. I'm pretty excited to show you guys the carbon fiber for this. It is made by these guys. Full Throttle Signs, composite, these guys, you know. They made us some custom carbon for this, and it might look, I don't know. It may look sick. It's gonna look sick. Just you wait and see. But anyway, I got a lot of work ahead of me, so. So I think today I'm gonna cut the frame rail back some more. You can kind of see the mid-plate bar here. I think I'm just gonna go straight up with it. And then we'll redo this. We'll redo this K-member tie-in too. And put another bar like here. Here somewhere. We'll see. So I've already done some cutting. We're cutting these frame rails back to kind of match where the firewall is going to be. We don't need all this excess behind it anymore. Well, never did, but I'm going to take care of it now. We're going to get rid of this bar too. It kind of interferes with the tire if we want to go lower. Kind of see it rubs. But yeah, see how the firewall is going to be here. So we're going to go ahead and cut that off. Just to get an idea here. That little piece is 5 pounds. So I cut that piece of frame rail out earlier and it connects to the K-member. So I made these up and it will go like so, something like this. And you can still bolt the K-member in it, take it out if you need. So we'll get these welded in. Well, I ended up cutting more. I'm like Forrest Gump with a cutoff wheel. Once I get cutting, I just cannot stop.
For no particular reason, I just kept on going. I ran clear to the ocean.
So now it's time to rebuild a little bit, I guess. So there used to be a bar that went from here and went like kind of down like this, and it limited the ride height because the tire would come up and hit it. So I cut that all back, and I'm gonna put a bar from like here down here, if that makes any sense. Probably gonna end up putting a bar like on the last car too, from like here down in here, so that the sheet metal can go along it, and that provides more strength too. Just make more work for myself, I guess. It's not like I'm trying to get done for a race or anything. So we'll go ahead and get a bar fitted up. I tried to extend this gusset out as far to the top of the strut as possible without interfering with the tire. Move on over to the other side and do the same thing. Once we're happy with those, let's go ahead and do these mid-plate bars. We've got some more bars in. Those ones, this diagonal here. Now we're gonna move on to, I have the seat in there. I have the tunnel and shifter. We're gonna move on to the double frame rail. So much like the last one, but you guys didn't see any of it. We're gonna come from somewhere in here, back, and there is not much room in there to sneak a bar. But we'll go ahead and sneak one in there, huh? So we got the top double frame rail in. Now we have to do supports. If you're wondering if you need a double frame rail, maybe not. If you have a full stock interior, probably not. I guess the easiest way to think about this is it's almost like a bridge when you're going to put these supports in, or why this even is used. So like the bottom of your car is like a bridge deck that you drive over, or, you know, like a train bridge would probably be the best visual. So say the trains drive on the bottom, and then below it will be the bottom of a truss, and then you have to put supports in there. That's the idea. So all of the power from the engine, it all gets transferred to the suspension instead of trying to buckle in on itself. It has all this support, so it makes it very stiff. But again, that sort of stuff does not come without issue. This cage was kind of put in here, you know, when it had an interior, so it's not moved over a bit. And you can see the seat's kind of wide, and fox bodies aren't very wide to begin with. So when we go to do the feet, you kind of get into a little issue. So if you rest your feet here, you know, you're pretty close to the transmission. So if you did a straight bar, from there to there, it would kind of, you know, be where your leg is. So I've got this bar bent. It'll go a little further yet. And we'll have to do the same for like here. And probably have to bend the cross support in there maybe. Let's go ahead and get this first support in. Once we're happy with that first support, we're going to move on to the second, but it's a little different than the first one. So this piece that goes kind of by my legs is notched a little differently, and that's because we want it to fit right here. So where all these bars come together, it's called a node. So you try and land as many bars as you can in one kind of spot, because this spot right here is going to be real strong. Energy's transferred through all these into one spot. So yeah, when I'm landing these bars, I just try and land them on a node, make them stronger. So I fitted this bar, this crossbar here. Now it goes into where a bunch of tubes connect, and this isn't welded yet. So I want to weld this, and then you put this into it so it's fully welded all the way around. I'm going to pull the engine and transmission because I know that nothing's going to run into them now, and make this easier. So, since we have the engine and transmission out, and the K-member, which is extremely hard to get out of this, we're going to weld in the sleeves for the mid plate. So when I install mid plate, the bolts go through this, and the mid plate's drawn straight back into it. And I put these through this, and weld it both sides, and that's so when you tighten a bolt on this, it don't crush it. So I think we're going to put 4, 2 here, one there and one there, and then it's also tied in down here into it. So you don't really need that many more. Anyway, yeah, that's what I do for the mid plate. Lots of other ways to do it too. So I've already got the sleeves drilled and welded in, and now we're gonna drill the mid plate and tap it. I'm using 3/8 fine thread, 3/8 24, and this is just to stop rotational forces, really. You can put a nut on the other side if you want to, but again, it's rotational, so it's not really gonna pull away from it. So we've got 2 frame rails, some supports, mid plate's done. So now we're gonna move on to pedals. So as much as I wish we were using, you know, FFP pedals in here, we're just gonna use what we had. Since I took the original Firewall and floor out, the mounts are kind of gone, so I gotta redo it. So I just kind of position my feet where I think will be good for a pedal. So here's how I was originally going to mount it. A couple bolts, sleeves, a long bolt, but yeah, it won't work that way. I have kind of no idea how they want you to like mount this pedal. So that's why I came up with what I did. I don't know if it's how they want it or not, but seems like a not great design. I don't know. So here's what I came up with for the brake pedal. It's kind of the most intricate mount I think I've ever made. But it's in there. My dad is back. I'm gonna start welding in this double frame rail. I've got all the supports in and everything I want, and he's gonna work on the back shelf template. Double frame rail's all welded, mid plate bar's all welded, pedal stuff's all welded. So, I wanted to show you. I didn't show you on the last one. Let me spin this. So I'm gonna use the double frame rail again as the Burndown tank, but I put these in the last one too. And they have a 1/4 inch NPT that you can put a ball valve on or whatever. And all the oil, the vapor from the Burndown tank goes back, but you know, sometimes the vapor will carry a liquid in it, just a little bit. So you're gonna wanna drain it from time to time. So this is a drain, it's on both sides. We're using the top double frame rail again for the Burndown tank. So I made these little things and I'm gonna weld them before I put the Firewall in, because it was hard last time to do it. So I showed you the drain. Now these are gonna go about something like that, I think. And this is the tube that we use to connect. You know, it'll be somewhere over here through the Firewall from the valve cover, which is non-existent right there. Through the Firewall, from the Firewall to that tube. Let's go ahead and get these holes drilled for these Burndown tank inlets. Once the hole's big enough, let's go ahead and weld them in. And I guess while we're doing this, we might as well do the back ones too. As you can see here, the driver's side double frame rail runs right into the funny car hoop. So I'm gonna put this one off to the side a little bit. After that, it's gonna bring us to, you know the deal. The Firewall. I don't know. This one might be harder, might be easier. I don't know yet. We're just gonna jump right into it. Let's go ahead and start our CAD. Cardboard aided drafting. Now I haven't moved the engine in this car at all, and the hood only goes to the cow, so I haven't cut it back either. Once I'm happy with how the cardboard's fitting, I'll transfer that to our 22 gauge cold rolled steel. Get it fitted up how we like it. So I've got the firewall laid out for bead roll. We'll go ahead and get that done. And there we go, bead rolled, ready to go in. So we'll go ahead and get everything prepped to weld. That means getting rid of all the paint and Bondo and whatever else is here. And we'll start tacking this thing in, working it from the middle to the outside and doing a little fitting as we go. We'll get out the TIG and start with the old silicon bronze. Now, if you remember from the last one, it is to attach sheet metal to tube. Now that that's in place, my dad and I can keep on making templates. This is much more complex than the last one. I have a whole bunch more pieces here. Whole bunch more bends. But it's actually turning out pretty good, I must say. Wait till you see this. There is a mostly finished firewall. Just gotta finish welding it, clean it up, but there it is. We've also got double frame rail. Well, I think we're gonna end this episode here. It's got a whole firewall. It's got double frame rail. It's got pedals. It's got the tubes welded in for the Burndown tank. I think next week is carbon floor, steel underneath the driver, steel in the transmission tunnel, I hope, tubs, and maybe the rear shelf. And I did tell you I was going to show you the carbon. Man, I'm excited. Let me show you. Now, how good does that look? Oh, wait. Boy, I think that's gonna look killer in this, huh? So yeah, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. There's really not a lot of time left now, but gotta get done. So steel floor, again, underneath the driver has to be metal, titanium, steel. It's much cheaper to do steel. Much easier to, in my opinion. Carbon the rest, using that cool carbon I showed you. Some templates are already done because the middle of this car had aluminum Zeused in. So we're just gonna transfer it to carbon. The tubs are much different than how I would normally do tubs. We're trying something out. The tubs were already 2-piece in this car, so I'm just going to use half of it. You'll see. And what else? What else do we got to do? A lot. This car had stock windows in it, stock quarter windows in it, and we're going to put carbon fiber windows in it now. Hopefully I don't need to check my blind spot, right? Anyway, there's some stuff I wanted to get done, but I definitely am not going to have time for it. But let's just jump right into it. So we'll get started, much like the GT500, with my dad making a template for the steel floor, and I'm welding these ribbon strips in for the passenger floor. It's going to be made of carbon. Once he's happy with his fitment of the template, transfer it to that same 22 gauge cold rolled steel that we use for the Firewall. Start fitting it to be welded in. So we're going to lay out where we want to weld, so it's all pretty uniform. And of course this is bead rolled just like the other stuff to stiffen it up, and it kind of looks cool. Using the silicon bronze here. Overhead is always tough, but thin sheet metal to thicker tube, you want to use the silicon bronze. And there is the metal floor underneath the driver. So we're going to move on to tubs. Now these were 2-piece tubs that were originally in it already. I'm going to reuse this port. And there's the other part. So the fender profile is still here, but it's wider now, and we're going to make this out of the carbon. See, my dad here is making the template for the metal in the transmission tunnel, and I am starting to fit the tub, half of the tub, to the rear frame rails. Now, because I want to finish all of the sheet metal before I move on to carbon, he's going to continue on the trans tunnel, and I'm going to add some extra bars for the parachute mount. Stuck me with making the last template here. But once we're happy with the templates, get them transferred to steel, do a little bead rolling. Let's go ahead and weld them in. So we got the rear parcel shelf put back in. If you haven't noticed, the original builder of this car loved dimple dies. They're everywhere. They're even on the tubs. They're back here. I like the rear parcel shelf. I think it looks good. It'll look real good when the tubs are in here. So we're gonna work on that. All the steel is done. Well, it's all cut out. It's not all finished yet, but I wanted to get that all finished before we moved on to the carbon. So we're using this carbon because, well, it looks pretty sick. This car's always going to be red. I didn't go over the name. It's named Owlette, and Keith's daughter named it when he bought it, which was, I don't know, I think she was 2. That was her favorite character. It's a cartoon character. I picked this carbon out. He let me. And full throttles, signs, whatever. They made it, and it looks so killer right here. So we're going to do all the carbon in this, even the tubs, which I don't know how this is going to go. I'm just going to jump right into it. So for the tubs, these, like I said, these were a 2-piece tub already, and I've got that portion up there. And here is the other piece. Now it's not wide enough, but I am gonna stick it up in here to the fender. Kind of like so here, and then measure and see how much wider it has to be. So I already have a template pretty much. Well, even if I have a template, it still takes a lot of fitting. And especially when this thing just wants to move all over. And again, I'm pushing these tubs up as far as I can. Just, you know, if we want to fit a bigger tire in there, we can. I guess one of the benefits when doing it like this is you can just flip the template over, try it on the other side, and if it works, cut one the same. So I have some carbon windows to put in, and well, you can guess where they came from. Full throttle signs, Bob. But they weigh significantly less than the stock ones. So yeah, if you have a coupe, Mustang coupe, I think they have hatch windows too. So go check them out, get a hold of them. So I'm putting the quarter windows in now because I thought I was going to use some of the interior, and you need to put the windows in before you put the quarter trim in. And my dad is transferring one of those aluminum pieces in the middle I talked about to carbon. Once I got all this firewall welding out of the way that I've been putting off, we're back to fitting tubs. Doing tubs this way is definitely a 2-person job. It just wants to move around. You touch the front and the back moves. So my dad presses it up against the inner piece while I try and do some fitting. We've got the tubs in, we can start putting ribbon strips everywhere else. I want to put some on this back shelf portion so I can keep my dad moving with templates up there. So here's something I've added. These bars, they mount to this bar, this very last bar, which the parachute is going to be mounted off of. Now I put this here because when a parachute pulls, it pulls from right here. And if you only have out here and here, it could deflect. So we just put a little more additional bracing in here. You know, this car is going to go fast, but it's going to be light. So, a little more never hurt. So the back panel I have cut, kind of made, but I need to break this seam right here to go into the bumper, kind of like the last one. But this is too long for my brake, too long for my buddy's brake. So I'm going to try and do it here on the bench. I got a piece of square stock that's long enough. I'm gonna set this up under it. Oh, come on now. I'm gonna set this up under it, clamp it, and just slowly work it up with heat. dad and I got this piece of carbon bent and fitted to the bumper. We're just going to be putting Clecos in it for now, but it will end up having 832 button head screws, so you can take them out and still take the bumper off. Now I'll be working on this back quarter brace. I do this for two reasons. One, place to land the carbon coming off of the tub, and two, to strengthen up the quarter because I've cut everything away from it. Now while I'm doing this, my dad's going to be fitting the carbon floor on the passenger side and getting all the Cleco holes into it, drilling the bars for more rivets. Now let's go ahead and make a template to extend the tub down to this quarter brace. Once I'm happy with my template, let's go ahead and transfer it to the carbon, get a couple Cleco holes drilled in it, and we'll start making the next piece. And before I move on to the next piece, I have to weld another ribbon strip down this back bar. I have to wait to weld it in because I like to go at the same angle of like the back quarter brace. And while I'm doing this back corner, my dad is working on a template for the back shelf area. Now that the ribbon strip's welded in, let's go ahead and make a template. Now this is going to have a break in it, of course. Two different planes, and I need to bend a lip down onto the quarter and bumper to be able to catch some 832 button head bolts. Get a couple Clecos in it. I'll get up on the ladder and have my dad hold in on the carbon. He'll put the Clecos in. And then I need to get some bracing for this very back corner. So on these corners here, you know, it's kind of flimsy. I use these double-sided ribbon strips. These are from Send Cut Send. They're laser cut out of maybe 18 gauge aluminum. You can get them out of titanium too. But I think I need 5 of them, and I'll bend it on this same angle here. And then we'll secure it from the back so wind and air can't push it like that. There you go. Real strong now. So I guess if you're looking for a ribbon strip you can bend, go to Send Cut Send. And we've got the back finished from the tub's back. Now we're going to go ahead and work on this front corner. I've already got this welded in there, and I've got one of these ribbon strips from Send Cut Send bent. And this piece too, bent to go here. So we're going to fill this all in, clear to the quarter, fill this in, and this. This is so rocks can't sit in here. See, this is covering this bar. Rocks can't sit in there. Rocks can't sit in here once this is in here. So, let's get to it. And I'm sure you know the deal already. We're gonna start with our template, get it matched to the quarter, and get it stuck all the way out here so no rocks can sit in there. We'll go ahead and get it transferred to the carbon, start fitting it. So I put the carbon side out here because you can't see it from the inside. I stick the carbon side up from the bottom because you can see it from the inside of a car, and it looks super cool. So my dad already kind of made this template for the quarter. I'm just gonna stick it in here, verify a couple things, then make a piece. Once I'm happy with how that's fit, get a couple clecos in it. Now I'll get this piece that goes against the quarter in the rocker, and I'm realizing I need to make like a filler piece that goes between the main hoop and like the door opening. And then, once that's in, I can make this piece that goes against the rocker in the quarter. Now while I'm doing that, my dad got the transmission tunnel in, and he's gonna be making the carbon piece that goes around it to enclose the rest of this. And that is the carbon fiber underneath, all finished. All corners done. Drive shaft tunnel done. So now I guess we'll just have to pull it apart and paint, put it all back together. Here's the trunk area. These are for the fire bottles. They were already in there. There's that package tray. Look at that. That is gonna look so good with all that protective film off of it. Oh, I need to raise it up. So I think we're gonna end this episode here. It's got all the carbon into it. Firewall's all finished. The metal in the trans tunnel's all finished. Yeah, I guess next week is gonna be brakes, the dual parachutes, and then we're gonna, paint most of it because we have to get it back to Keith so we can thrash and put this thing together. I think we have about a week left, so I don't know. I think we'll make it. But if you made it this far and you're enjoying the content, hit like and subscribe for me. I appreciate it. Thanks. It's crunch time now. So it's got a floor in it, all carbon is in it, tubs are in it. I guess now is paint, put all the carbon back. Seam seal, 550 rivets maybe, I don't know. We gotta put the metal back, or put the Zeus fasteners back for the nose. What else? I gotta poke a hole for the steering. And a little miscellaneous things. We gotta do dual chutes, 2 parachutes on it. Brake lines, bleed the brakes. So yeah, and then we're gonna be able to take it to Keith. And once we get there, we just have to do everything else, I guess. We are dwindling down on stuff I need to do here. One of the last things is to weld on. I gotta put a brake tab here for the brake lines for my dad to run brake line to. And then I cut all the weight tabs off. So I'm gonna weld these here in case we have to add weight at the track, either to square the chassis or, you know, if we wanted to transfer or put more weight on the rear tires or whatever. So we'll go ahead and get these welded on. Then I got to move to the parachute. And we're getting real close to taking it to Keith. I want to get everything from here forward painted so tomorrow my dad can start assembling the carbon and I can work on the parachute. We can paint that later. Now I'm welding a piece of plate where my feet go, so I don't have to like step in between the bars, and so I can rest my feet on a plate. And my dad is working on the front brake lines. Gonna move to welding the parachute up. This is from Hammer Concepts. And then we'll weld the 4-link bars together. So here's that rear end that I built. I got some parts from Cut Send here. These are weight tabs. We run different classes, and different classes require different weights for your combination. Like in LDR, I think I can weigh 2,180 pounds or something. This car can never get there. But in Warriors, the class I'm gonna run, I have to be 2,580. So this will probably be less than that, so we'll strap some weight to the rear end. And then I also have a back. So we'll get these welded on. And that should pretty much wrap up the rear. Here's how they come. I got them not bent. As you can see, they're bent, and I weld a captured nut because I hate wrenches, I guess. You can have these bent and buy them, but I have a brake, so I just do it. That tag welded on. I'm gonna flip it up and see kind of where we want the weight tabs to, and we have some lead bricks we got to put here, but I have to make sure they're clear everything. And there is the rear end all finished up. Move on to poking that hole for the steering shaft. I probably should have taken some measurements before I did this because I already had this set. And Bo is back. He's going to get some stuff prepped. You can see he's going to be painting this just like the last one. We need to mount remote reservoirs again, so I got another from FFP Customs, and we got to make a super custom mount for this. I already showed you this real intricate brake pedal mount. We are going to have to mount these something like this to stay under the dash and still be above where the line's going. Go ahead and bend a piece of 3/8 chromoly around these remote reservoirs. Again, another intricate mount. When you're race car rehabbing, it's all got to be custom. My dad is going to get the brake line to the rear of the car going, and I'm going to do a little seam sealing. So I went ahead and cut the single chute off. Now we're gonna put dual chutes on. I went ahead and made this hammer already. Braced it up because this car should Probably go 220 mile an hour plus, I hope. Now my dad is working on the brake line from the bulkhead to that tab I welded on earlier to drop down to the rear end. And I am welding gussets to the parachute mount. Again, want a lot of strength here. 220 plus in the quarter mile is no joke. So the dual chute tether pole is on. These are gonna tie back into this, and then I'll probably tie them up here. And if you're wondering what this hole is for, it's for this push pin, and that is how we push the car. So Bo and I are working the graveyard shift, hoping to get everything from the shocks, pretty much the shocks, painted forward so we can start reassembling tomorrow while I continue to work on the dual parachutes. Even though it was a pain in the ass, it does look good. Pizza party reassembly. My dad is working on the last brake line that goes over to the passenger caliper, and I am working on the parachute bag mounts. The car will probably only have one parachute at this next race. It's only an 8th mile race. The dual chutes is more for quarter mile for us. Now that those are finished, we're going to start the reassembly of all the carbon. And that means probably 500 rivets or more. This would really suck if you were doing all these rivets by hand. We'll move on to seam sealing all of the corners where the carbon comes together. This is mostly because I hate having smoke in the car after a burnout. Well guys, with the help of my dad and a couple friends, next stop, Wonder Racing. It is loaded up, ready to go. The hood's still inside. I'll give you guys maybe a once over better at Keith's. We have, I don't even know what day it is anymore, but we don't have a lot of time. I'm gonna get it there. We're gonna put an engine in it, plumb it, wire it, fire it. Next stop after that, Yellow Bullet Nationals, Cecil County Dragway. But, all right, see you guys at Wonder Racing. So we have made it here to Wonder Racing. We have to play a little musical cars. I have a pile of parts here. But we gotta switch some cars around, get this one in, get his out, and we can start assembly. Got it inside. He is currently putting the oil pump together. I'm going to get the transmission in, and he is going to get the rear gear that we're going to put in this. The thrash really starts now. Probably have about a week. I don't know. Transmission's in. We're going to put the new Circle D.
So Chris and Pete took care of us on the white cars converter, and I've been insanely impressed with it. How forgiving it is up front, how much faster it is down low, but then also how it couples out the back. So talked with Pete, and he got me set up with an identical converter for Owlette as well. So big shout out to Pete and Chris of Circle D. We appreciate it.
So if you're in the market for a converter, hit up Circle D. They know what they're doing, that's for sure.
Hands down, the absolute best customer service. We're a dealer at Wonder Racing, so we can get you set up as well.
Circle D. We are on to day 2. It has an entire drivetrain, engine, transmission, rear ends in it. Yesterday I was replacing a lot of bolts. I don't have, these are AN or NAS. So we use these in brackets because threads are smaller. So if you put them in there, sometimes it can move around. So if the entire bracket is in the shoulder, it just provides more strength. We like them on these. We like them on suspension parts mostly because they see the most shear force. Next thing we're moving on to is Keith is making me put a new window net in. Like I don't already have enough to do. We're going to be using Hammer. We use that a lot. Hammer Concepts and Design came out with a new window net kit. We're going to be putting that in. And here's the original. It had, you know, belt buckles. There you can see. Drivetrain's in. Carbon's uncovered. Looking good. Coming together quick. Needs to be quicker though. Well, it might go quicker if you get off your phone, huh? So we'll start by grinding the old window net mounts off and getting this lousy powder coat off. Let's mark out where we want the window net to end so we can make sure to get a powder coat off there too. It sucks to try and weld through powder coat. It doesn't work with TIG. We'll set the seat back in, make sure this lower bar isn't going to be into our shoulder or anything. Once we're happy with everything, let's weld it in. There we go. Hammer Concepts and Designs window net kit. I gotta say I've set up quite a few different window net kits and that was by far the easiest and best performing one. So I would recommend that one every time. So we are back at Keith's. I had to go home for a couple days, but he has been busy. Pretty much all the wiring is in the car. And I'm working on fire lines. Got the ones in the rear done. So, Quinn is with me. Quinn! We're just working away. I'm gonna continue with the fire lines. He is working on the CO2 lines. Yeah, plugging away. So since there's 2 bottles, I'm going to use this one for the engine bay And that one for the driver compartment. There's also two pull handles. So you can evacuate one if you feel like it's just contained in the engine bay. But if you feel like it's coming through, you can pull both handles. I'm gonna come through here with one, follow the frame rail. And the original builder of this car did something pretty cool. These are the old fire lines, and they go through the frame rail to a port out here that'll spray. Pretty clean setup, I'd say. Just a quick update. Quinn is still here. We are just about ready to fire. We changed some things on the car. We hardlined. We got all stainless lines for the CO2 and boost lines. Come inside, look, it's pretty well finished. New parachute handle. Fire lines are done. Breather tank's done. And then fire bottle, burn down tank, all plumbed. Only one chute on it for right now. We're only running 1/8 mile in the next race, which is Yellow Bullet. It'll have 2 on for World Cup. But yeah, about ready to fire. Getting closer. Just doing some finishing touches. And after all those late nights, early mornings, long weeks, this is what makes it all worth it. think we're gonna end this video here. I'm just kidding. Obviously, Owlette means a lot to me. Keith trusts me to drive it for years now, and we have a lot of fun at these races. So, yeah, putting this together, me and my dad, me and him, means a lot to me. So, I'm gonna sit back and enjoy the new and improved Owlette. Well, we made it. We made it to Yellow Bullet. The car is here, and it turned out super clean. You know, we didn't cut any corners. You know, in my opinion, it came out clean. Now, I realize I didn't go over the car much. It is a 5.4 liter mod motor, just like his white car. Same engine, but the difference is a single 98 millimeter bullseye turbo. And we've been very happy with this turbo. We've only been running the 98 for 2.5 years, maybe. It used to have an X275 legal 88, and X275 is gone. It's pretty much dead. So we stepped up to a 98, and I'm running Warriors this weekend. Come inside. It's got a Cone 3-speed close ratio transmission. It's running Holley EFI, and Keith does all the wiring and tuning. But man, did it turned out so nice. It's so simple. And come underneath the rear, and it turned out so nice. I'm so happy. Well, I think we're gonna end this episode here. We made it. I'm happy. The car's in one piece after its first test pass, and it is promising. Again, you'll have to see that on the next video, which is gonna be of this entire race, Yellow Bullet Nationals. If you're coming to Yellow Bullet, come find us. We're way down in the jingweeds, I guess. We like to park down here. It's nice and open, but I have a very limited amount of shirts and hats. So if you're coming and you want to buy one, come see us, come check out the car, both cars, and I hope to see you here. But if you're enjoying the content, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.